For a country with the word united part of it, our country has never been more divided. Mr. Donald Trump has been named the President of the United States, and with that has come much joy as well as hatred. Now let's go around here at Eastern and ask some of the students what their thoughts are about the election.
What are your thoughts on Trump wanting to build a wall and keep the illegal immigrants out of the country?
I think it's good for him to think that, but in actuality, it's logistically speaking, he also wants the Mexican government to pay for it, and you can't force something upon another country that's just your beliefs. It also likely won't be passed because, yes, it would provide jobs, but realistically, it wouldn't be a good use of resources.
What do you say to the parents that have to explain to their kids, listen, this is what happened. Donald Trump is our new president. How do you explain that to your children? I mean, he's been portrayed as a bully, as someone who's lashed out with everyone. He's been portrayed as quote unquote evil in some people's eyes. How do you explain that to your kids?
Well, I guess that you just have to explain to them that many people look at him that type of way, and that it's okay to have your own opinion about how you think he is or how he portrays himself. But at this point, there's nothing that we can do. He's president. We can protest or if you're against it or whatever, but at the end of the day, acceptance is all that we can look to right now. And just wishing him bad is only going to affect us as a country because he's our president. And so we have to hope that he will do a good job because that's going to affect us.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about gun ownership? Donald Trump agrees with this. Do you disagree or agree?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think overall we have the right to own guns in this country, and I think that's something that should definitely be protected. However, I believe that some of the standards that was laid out by our forefathers has changed over the years, so maybe not automatic weapons and a lot of things that people are seeing now. So I definitely think we have the right to bear arms, but maybe not necessarily military-grade firearm.
So Trump is a very well-established and successful man in the business industry. Do you think him being this way and being so successful in the business industry will aid him or, hurt him in this presidency?
Well, I definitely think that it absolutely can't hurt to have some sort of experience. Although the political experience is clearly lacking, I feel that having a background organization, such as his that is around the globe and it's a very known brand, could at least aid in some of the same aspects as, because America essentially is a business. We'll have to see, though. It's kind of up in the air because it's clearly on a much bigger scale with much more to gain and much more to lose.
So I have Luis here. Now, there are 7 to 8 cities, New York and Chicago included, that are protesting, having these big, huge protests in the cities. Do you think this is an appropriate reaction to this election?
I think it's very appropriate because they're exercising the First Amendment. It's freedom of speech. Sure, most people say we should stand by our president, but if our president is not acting in the proper manner as previous presidents before him, then I believe they should exercise their rights as American citizens to protest against the hatred things he's done in the past.
Now, what are your thoughts on this election?
Honestly, right now, the major thing that's on my mind is the way people are reacting to it. I feel like not every voice is heard right now, we have a Republican government now, they're the majority. So I feel like the left isn't being heard anymore. We have millions of people in the streets chanting Black Lives Matter, away with Trump, and everyone's just saying, we need to unify, get over it basically. But how are people supposed to unify when they're not being heard? An issue needs to be dealt with before it's moved on from. So I feel like if people truly want our nation to become one, we need to start opening the conversation instead of shying away from it. We're getting uncomfortable because one person's saying what another person doesn't like. I know a lot of people voted for Trump because they're not for late-term abortion, but see, the thing is, we can't just stop the conversation about late-term abortion just because people don't like it, Yeah. it doesn't go away just because the words aren't being said.
As you can see, there are so many different various thoughts and opinions on this election. We definitely have a lot of work to do to stay united and be one as a nation. But thanks for watching. This is Kenzie Kyle Collaboration, and stay tuned for next time.